What I'm going to go through next is the essential on-page SEO elements that you need on your pages, where you need to include these keywords and what you need to optimize on your pages so Google understands what the website is about. So number one, SEO title. So this isn't what's visible on your actual web page in itself, it's in the background. If you're on WordPress, you've got some SEO settings, or you could have a Yoast plugin, and this is where you put your SEO title and description. Somewhere like Wix, it'll be under your SEO settings. Depending on which platform you're in, there'll be a dedicated area to put your SEO title and your description. And this information is the advert that people will see in Google. So you need to complete the title. The title here is this top bit in purple, and the description is the bit of text underneath. And you need this to be optimized for your keywords, because if you don't have your main keyword in your title and your description, it's not going to be shown as an impression in Google when someone writes that keyword or types that phrase into Google. So make sure you've got your keyword at the start of this title. And then think about adding modifiers, things like buy, guide, online, because it increases the visibility of long tail keywords. So number two, the SEO description. So this is the bit that's underneath your title. You need to optimize this with your keyword, same as your title. You need to tell the readers exactly what your page is about here and make it sexy, make it engaging. You need to encourage readers to click through. So your SEO title and description has two jobs here. Number one is to get an impression in Google, for it to show up. When someone types that keyword into Google, you want your website to show. The second thing this needs to do is entice people to click. So if the text here doesn't do a good enough job to entice people to click, then you need to make it work harder. So you need to really work on this text, because this is the first thing people are going to see to get them to your website. The next thing that you want to look at is the main heading. This is the first thing your users will see when they get to your website. So it needs to be short, catchy. It needs to inspire the reader to keep scrolling or take action. It needs to tell them what this page is about. And the second job this title has is for Google. It's the first thing Google sees when it crawls this page. So you need your primary keyword here in this heading. And without this keyword, if you use something else, Google's not going to understand straight away what this page is about. So make sure you get that keyword in and make sure the title is strong and bold and encourages people to take action. Number four are subheadings. Throughout your page, you will have more headings. You will have these flagged up maybe as H2, H3, H4 tag, but they are effectively like if you've got a book title, when you're reading a book, that will be your main title, and then you have your chapters. These are like your subheadings. And help emphasize important parts of your content by using these headings. It breaks up large chunks of text, especially when you're writing blogs. There's nothing worse than a huge amount of just text to keep reading and keep scrolling. I often record user activity and behaviour on websites, and what you'll see is they skim read and they'll stop at these headings and read the headings first and then go through to reading the text. So you want these headings to break up that text and make it easier for the user. You'll increase your engagement rate and get them on your page for longer. And you also want them to have keywords. So add your primary and your secondary keywords in your headings, because these are important headings that Google will crawl. It will read your headings to find out what the page is about. So make them important, make them stand out. Number 5 is your URL structure. So this is the actual page address for the web page. make sure you have your keyword in this page. Google's going to read this address to try and work out what the page is about. And you want to make sure it's short and clear. I'd recommend somewhere between 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Anything too long and it becomes unfavorable and a bit messy for the search engines. So keep it short and keep it relevant and include your primary keyword here. And make sure you don't have things like folders for dates. So if you're writing a blog title, make sure you don't have in there, the folder name of February / #1 / then the blog title, because it makes it too long, but also you're including the dates here, and Google will automatically see that this page is dated. So it might be relevant today, but in a year's time, that's suddenly going to look like an article that's a year old. So take out the dates, keep it short, make sure you include your keyword. Number 6, the first 100 words on this page. This is often sort of the intro text, the subtext that's underneath the main title as you arrive. Make sure it includes your keywords. Make sure you've got it naturally. Don't force a keyword in there. Put it naturally in a sentence. The sooner your primary target keyword appears in your content, the sooner the search engine crawlers can determine what the content is about. So make sure you include this in the first 100 words or in the first paragraph. Number 7, links. Links are so important. The more people that link to you, the easier it is for Google to find your site and the higher that you're going to end up ranking. And there's lots of different ways that you can link. You can link to other sites around you, you can have other sites linking to you, and you can link internally within your own website. An internal link is a hyperlink from one page of your site to another page on your website. So make sure you use these to highlight the most important pages of your website. If you're writing a blog article, link it to other blog articles that are relevant. Make sure you've got links to your shop page. Make sure you're linking to your contact me page. So throughout all your pages, get your links going. And Google uses these internal links to find the pathway of your website. They literally go from one page to another, trying to find all of the pages of your website and mapping it out. So linking your pages provides that crawlable sort of site architecture for Google to find your content and understand what it's about. And then link to external websites. Link to websites that are high authority and trustworthy or popular. If your Wikipedia is an example, perhaps you're writing a blog and you're talking about a subject that you could link back to Wikipedia for more information. You could be using some quotes or statistics. Get a link in there to the actual source of where you've got that website from. And when you create this link, think about your anchor text. Make it natural. Your anchor text is the actual words that you type that are going to click through to this next page. So rather than saying click here to find out, that bit of text can be a keyword and make it natural. Google's not going to think anything of the words click here. So have your anchor text exactly what the subject is about and what it's going to link to. Number 8, the readability of your page. Make sure it's easy to read. Make it simple. If it's not easy to read, then people aren't going to stick around and you'll end up having a high bounce rate, which in turn gives you a low page experience. Remember the start of this video, I said to you, Google wants to rank pages with good page experience because it wants its users to have a good experience. Use images that support your content and compress them so they don't slow down your page. Big images, big videos, they will slow down your website. But there are tools out there where you can make them smaller and it won't affect the speed of your website. Make your sentences short, 3 to 4 lines, and use simple language, simple, easy, readable language. Don't include words that people don't understand or they need to go to Google to find out what the actual word even means. Use subheadings and use your images to support the information. People react easy, the brain works easier with visuals. Show them what the content is about by using visuals, and include lots of call to actions as you go throughout the page. Tell people what to do next. Tell them what to read. Tell them to keep scrolling and what's about to come in the next paragraph. Number 9, your images. Hopefully you're using images on your website. Images help. Images are good for the brain. They help you read things visually. But Google can't actually see these images. So this is where it's really important to optimize your images with keywords. Optimize the file name and the alt text with your keywords. It helps Google to understand what the page is about. It also helps people with disabilities. They're going to be able to read your page and understand it too. Remember what I said before, Google likes a good page experience. So it's going to favour websites that give a good experience to everyone. So next time you upload an image, have a look at it. Make sure you're not keeping the file name that it was on your phone when you took it. Make sure you name that image. Make sure you name the alt text and make it natural. Make it so people can understand. Number 10, video. Video helps with engagement. People love videos. You'll see more and more now on social media. People going live. People like watching. Having a video on your website makes people stop. They watch the video. They'll then spend more time on your website, more time on that page because they're watching the video. This overall is going to tell Google it's a good page experience because the longer they're on the page, the better it must be. Not forgetting, Google owns YouTube. And video is getting more and more popular. So where you can, add it, only when it's relevant, and it will get you more traffic. Number 11, related keywords. Every page on your website needs to be geared up to rank for one primary keyword or sort of key phrase. But throughout the page, you also want to have related keywords, secondary keywords about that topic. So then Google uses these to determine the relevance of that page. The more different versions of the main keyword and keywords that are related to it you've got on the page, the more Google can understand what this page is about and see the relevance of them. Number 12, social sharing. Add sharing bars to your web pages. Encourage people to share. Encourage them to post your page on social media. You'll get higher rankings if your page has been shared because Google will assume it's valuable content. If people are sharing, it means this page is good. It means the content is good. So encourage that sharing. Make sure you make it easy for people to share straight to their social media. So now we've come to the end of my 12 points, and thank you for watching today, and I hope you found this training really, really useful. And just make sure you optimize your pages on a regular basis. This can help your rankings, your traffic, and your conversions. Keep going back to the points in this video, go through all of the stages and make sure your pages are up to date and they're optimized. And especially if you've got blog articles, keep them up to date because every time you're updating a page, you're updating a blog article, Google's going to crawl it again and sees this as a new page. If you've got a page that's been sat there for 2-3 years and a competitor's got a similar page that's only 2 months old, which one do you think Google's going to choose to show its users? Think about the start of this video where I said Google only wants to show good relevant pages and give a good user experience. So think about your pages, think about the relevance of them, think about the age of them, and go through all of these points and start optimizing and updating each and every one of your pages.